So anyway, I got a battle here against Rod from Pokerupt. It's just standard. So anyway, he leads off with this Moltres, and I lead off with my Hug Bug, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna Stone Edge. So he goes, because I have a Sash, so he goes for the Air Slash, and I'm like, alright, as long as I don't flinch, I'm just gonna kill this thing, it's gonna be all good, okay, my Focus Sash activates. Flinch, and I'm like, oh my god, BBQ. So I go to Bronzong because I'm taking a gamble that it's choiced. And, yeah. So I'm going to set up Stealth Rock on the Switch if he actually is choiced, and it pays off because he is choiced, probably Scarfed. So he goes into me, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on? Holy shit. So I go for the Stealth Rock, and yeah, and I can't really do anything, and I know he's Specs, and I'm going to go for the Hydro Pump. So I switch out, and I go to Kingdra, and he goes for the Hydro Pump. And, yeah, it does, like, a metric fuck ton, considering I 4 times resisted. So I go for the Surf, and he goes into himself, and I'm like, whoa, holy shit, why do you have all these people? Oh my god. So yeah, it does a pretty good amount for the resist. So I switch out, and I go into Manectric, and because Manectric is win, and he goes for the Psychic. And here, I thought he would switch, which is kind of stupid, because even if he was predicting a Thunderbolt, he could have just gone to me, who is Specs. So I go for the switcheroo and give him Specs, but he just stays in Psychics, and I'm like, god, gosh darn. You. So anyway, I die for nothing, but I go into Tran Man because now he's locked into Psychic, and I get a free sub. So he goes back into me, and I'm like, holy shit, oh my god. And so I'm into this tranny, and so I decide to give myself an STD, which is weird because yeah. So I give myself an STD as he goes for the Earth Power, and that's gonna break my sub, obviously. So, but that does give me a free switch into Bronzong because I know that I'm Specs. Oh my god, this is confusing shit. So anyway, I go into Bronzong, and yeah, it goes to the Earth Power, and I can't really do anything to Swampert. So I'm gonna set up a what is it? Reflect on the Switch. So he switches out and he goes back into himself, and I'm like, whoa, there you are. And so I go for the Reflect, and yeah, shit's happening. So I switch out, knowing that he's gonna go for the Surf. I go into Smoke Me because Grass types are all marijuana apparently, marijuana. So anyway. That gets a crit, which is really gay. So he switches out, and I go for the Stun Spore, and he goes into this gay Scizor, and I'm like, wow, you're so gay. So anyway, I go for the Stun Spore, and yeah. So I get leftovers, blah, blah, blah. I switch out of my marijuana here next turn, and I go into Heatran. So I go into Heatran, and he gets paralyzed, which is cool. So now I know that I get another free sub, so that's pretty tasty. As free subs are. Get it like a sub sandwich, huh? So he goes into himself, and I'm like, oh damn. So yeah, I go for the sub, and I'm pretty sure Earth Power is a 2-hit KO, so that's pretty cool. So I go for the Earth Power, and obviously I can outspeed because it's a fucking slow bro. So I go for the Earth Power, and it is a 2-hit KO, and he just breaks my sub with Surf, so that's cool. Damn, son. So anyway, yeah, I get leftovers, yeah, Heatran, whatever. So I go for the Earth Power and blah, blah, blah. Everybody's happy. So, yeah, that faints, he faints. So, he goes back into me, and yeah. So I go for a sub, and then I try to break my own sub with a Hydro Pump, but then I miss, and then I'm happy. But what the fuck's going on? This is confusing shit. So anyway, I go for the Earth Power because once again, it's probably a 2-hit KO after Toxic and shit. So it looks like it might be. He goes for the Hydro Pump again. It does hit. But again, I'm a Swampert, so I'm gonna outspeed myself. Oh shit, this is confusing. Fuck. So anyway, I get leftovers, and yeah, so after the poison, it does look like a 2-hit KO, so I just go for it. And, yeah, it is. So I die, and I kill myself, which is weird, because I'm so emo, apparently. So anyway, so he goes into Buzz Lightyear, and, yeah, he's gonna get slapped in the face with some Stealth Rocks. So he goes for the Endure, as I just sub. And so, yeah. And so, yeah, he gets the speed boost, blah, blah, blah. So he goes for the Endure. He gets the second turn Endure, and I'm like, oh, come on. So I go for the Fire Blast. Luckily, it actually hits. And, yeah. So it goes down. He gets to 1 HP, and he gets a lychee berry, and I'm like, oh yeah, physical, that's pretty badass. So anyway, he goes for the reversal, which is, like, really cool. So that's gonna break my sub. And I wasn't gonna risk Fire Blast missing, so I went for the Toxic, which would have, like, really sucked balls if it missed. But it didn't, so he loses 1 HP to poison. So Buzz Lightyear goes down to infinity and beyond. Oh, it's right there, yeah, Toy Story. So anyway, he goes into this pincer, and I'm like, whatever, fodder. So he goes for the close combat. I was like, maybe I'll outspeed, probably not. So he goes for the close combat. Look at this shit. I was like, okay, I'll die. I live with 4 HP, and I'm like, what the fuck? He-Train is a beast. So I go for the Fire Blast, and that is obviously going to kill this pincer. So he has no more burritos, and that makes him sad. So, yeah. Damn it. Sorry about that. So, anyway, I get leftovers, but it's not really matter. So he goes into his gay scissor, and, it's gonna bullet punch, and that is gonna kill me. Because scissor is homosexual. So, my tranny dies, and he gets leftovers. So I decide to go into Wendy because I'm Specs, and I go for the Hydro Pump, and I was like, okay, Specs Hydro Pump? Stab Specs Hydro Pump. And this thing survives, and I'm like, what the fudge sickles? So he goes for the U-turn, and he goes into his last, which is this Moltres, which again gets like raped in the face from Stealth Rock. So yeah, and he's giving me peer pressure to stay in, so I get hit with an air slash. But now I can go into Bronze Zong, and I figure he's scarfed, so even with the resist, Gyro Ball is gonna do a lot. So I go for the Gyro Ball, and I'm not taking anything from that air slash. And then the Gyro Ball does look like a 2 KO, so that's cool. So he goes for the air slash again. I don't get flinched. I go for the Gyro Ball, and that's gonna kill this La Polo Loco. So his Moltres is dead, and all he has is his Scizor, which is gonna die to the Stealth Rocks because it's gay. So anyway, good game, yeah. Cool beans. Sweet!